Hey, lovely people. It's Jess. I'm just on here for probably about 10 to 15 minutes to see if anyone has any questions for me. It can be obviously job related, it could be about any of the conversations we've had on the channel, of course. And so just wanted to, since I haven't done this for this week, put a little time on here. I'll put this in the chat too in case anyone wants to come up and actually chat with me. But lately, I'm trying to see what has been going on in the news. So I did see recently some CEOs. Was it the CEO of Nike? Let me see if I can find the story. I want to say that was in the news recently. Yeah, so Nike CEO confirms it's not cutting out Foot Locker. They were partnering with another brand. Um, is Nike abandoning Foot Locker as it tests Jordan only stores? So that was something that was just, it popped up into my news feed. And I didn't really look into it. Hey, Teddy. Nice to see you. Hey, Laura. I didn't even see you, Laura. Laura, you're in here so quick. You're so fast. Teddy came in here. Hello. How are you? Hey, Barry. What's going on? Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. We've been talking about a lot of different things. So I'm again at the point where I'm trying to figure out how do I manage my channel, because I'm talking about job topics, I'm also talking about social things. And I have another channel that I am thinking. Well, let me know what you all think about this since you're in here. I am thinking about taking all of the content that I have, don't cringe, but all of the content that I have that's focused on, femininity or different social topics, Black community focused topics, and putting it onto another channel. And then just leaving Jessica Hicks as professional type of content, job seeker advice, compensation conversations, which is one topic I want to do because I see how people are talking about compensation in a way that is not beneficial to them, as I'm a recruiter. So I feel like I need to hone it into it that way. So this way, Jessica Hicks is, hey, professional, what do you want to talk about? And then the other channel will be, let's just chit chat, let's talk about the real stuff, like what's going on, right? Hey, Pal Pal, welcome. How's Italy? I always ask you that, but I'm just curious. Here in the U.S., we had some terrible news come from New York City today. There was some violence there today. I'm trying to be careful because YouTube doesn't like certain words. Teddy says that makes sense. Barry says that sounds great to me. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate it. Well, your channel is amazing, and you have it specific for your content with your tech reviews and your unboxings, and it's just so specific. The branding is very similar, and it just seems well thought out versus how when I started, I came onto YouTube having not planned it out. It was just, hey, here I am. Hey, y'all. And I feel like I need to put a little strategy to it. So and Laura says, sounds like a good idea. Thank you. So I will probably, here's the other thing that I am thinking about. And let me know if you have questions for me too, but I'm using this as a brainstorm. I'm thinking that I will keep items that are social related in the membership vault. So anyone that is a member would still be able to access everything here under this channel. But then I would shift to the new channel and have it to where it's just public. Anyone can watch, whatever. And I'm teetering back and forth between that because when I first started talking about certain things like interracial dating, for example, I didn't know that it was such a touchy, extremely touchy topic on YouTube. And I was getting hit with some wild comments that I didn't even imagine. Like me getting called all out of my name because I'm telling women, hey, you should be competitive in terms of opening your options to anyone that you're interested in. And that was very not what very much not what people wanted to hear at the time. So I may be kind of strategic around what I even add there. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking. I've been thinking about it for a while, and it just sounds like an overhaul of work to like download everything, download all the files, transfer it over, try to figure out what the branding will be. But I think it's a smart choice too. Thank you all for um, sharing your thoughts and of agreement with me. Papa says it's all right here. What about over there? Yeah, over here is fine where I'm at, but in New York, we had some wild instances in Brooklyn. There's this area of Brooklyn, Papa, you might be familiar with. I believe 16 people were affected that were in a subway in Brooklyn. I think it was Sunset Park. So that was some sad news today. Did you all see that? Crazy news, right? Oh, we have to be careful and look out for each other. Anyway, I'm just going to be on here for a few more minutes. The next topic I am planning to just discuss is compensation. And I'm thinking it'll have to be a live chat. And if you all want to talk to me, also here's the link if you want to get up here and talk. But during the live chat, we have to talk about compensation because people are saying numbers that they don't know. People haven't done research and are just saying different things to do, or saying different numbers that and they don't know about the role yet. And we should talk about it and have an open conversation. Barry says, I would probably recommend that you even slowly remove them from memberships over time. Ah, okay. I appreciate that as a member. You're telling me that. Thank you. You know what? I think yeah, that's probably a good idea because eventually I would have, if my channel grows, a separate channel, I would have different memberships there too. Good insight. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate it. Pop House says, oh no, I know. That's how everyone was feeling today. Yeah, it's very sad. Compensation for different industries. Oh, that would be good to talk about. I think here's the thing. I feel like there's a different conversation you have when you're looking at government jobs, for example, or if you're looking for hourly jobs, or if you're a freelancer, or if you are um, trying to figure out, what's the pricing that you should have if you're a trainer or you're, consultant, or basically you have a group of clients that you charge, right? When you increase prices, that will be a different conversation. I think for the first one, we should talk about generally professionals. Yes, what is your compensation? What's the going rate for your industry and your specific set of skills? Because you can't just look at your industry solely, because what if the industry standard is that people just have a degree in something and maybe a few years of experience, but you have way more skills and abilities and talents and education, and not all of this that we put together into forming how compensation is actually identified. So I mean, yes and more, Laura. That's my answer to that. Barry says the reason I feel this way is that, as you found out, which most of us seasoned know, Miss Bull Rollers. Barry, I was in a trivia yesterday under Pandy's channel, and I'm pivoting here, but we were doing a urban trivia, right? And I blew everybody away because it was literally my era. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was born in the 90s. This is my time. Of course I know this stuff. And everyone was like, We need more seasoned questions next time. And of course, that was Miss Full Roller talking about that. So that's so funny. Anyway, so I feel this way is that you found out, which most of us seasoned know, that interracial relationship talk is still absolutely divisive in America. Yes. And it just blows my mind. But, in the Black community, it's just a double standard. It's okay for men but not okay for women. It's just, and it makes me really look at it from, women versus men, and how women, no matter what race, women are constantly having double standards put onto them, right? This is okay. It's okay for you to be dominant at work unless you're a woman, right? In different instances. So, yes, I have so many thoughts about the Black community and some of the toxicity of it, especially when it comes to women, and actually in a different way for also Black boys. It's very interesting how, and even men, it's almost like the men are constantly put into this boy category, which seems to stem from, you know, racism and slavery and things in this country. And it's like, so the men are boys and the women are kept in a box made to be, it seems like, workhorses for everyone else. That's my quick view. Unfortunately, the community is just very strange. Anyone looking from the outside, if you were just to break out everything and just do a ton of research on our practices, it's just very strange. Anyway, Michael Films is in here. We still faking our resume till we make it? No, Michael. Michael is here. Michael, we are not faking our resume until we make it. Okay? We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Michael Film says, is there any do's and don'ts with LinkedIn photos? Everyone says you need to smile. So when it comes to LinkedIn profiles, right, you have to think of LinkedIn as networking. So how would you present yourself if you were at a networking event, right? Would you want to frown? Would you walk around at a networking event frowning at people? Would you walk into a networking event with clubbing clothes on? Would you walk into a networking event with your family, with your kids, with your pets, right? So when you think about LinkedIn and how your LinkedIn should look, and we can hone in on the photo, you need to present yourself in a photo that says, "Hi, my name is Michael. I would like to network with you, and this is why." Or I would like to partner with you because this is why, right? You want to put your best face forward in a professional way. So, as a part of that, if you step into a networking event, you're going to want to say hello to people and smile, right? So on LinkedIn, you would have a photo where you're smiling. But for men, I know this is a little different for some of you. It tends to be for men, they don't really like the photos of them smiling. It doesn't have to be a cheesy smile, right? Just a face, that you're making where it shows that you're inviting. Doesn't have to be a cheese, right? It doesn't have to be my photo smile, right? So whatever that means to you, that's what I would go for. But commonly people are going to smile on their LinkedIn photo because that's how they present their best face. They want to present happy, inviting, hey, talk to me, you want to reach out to me, right? Barry says, I would just say that as it is not just the Black community, about 10 years ago, my former boss and I decided to both stop at a store in Spokane, Washington. Is that right? When we were on a business trip. Continuing the conversation, the car was completely keyed up on one side as the people in the store assumed we were together. Oh, wow. The car rental company just filed it on their insurance once we explained the situation. I see. Yes. Well, it definitely stems from the beginning. from them, right? From white people in this country not wanting that integration to happen, right? It's just so much history here. But then on the opposite end of that, now we're integrated, so why would we be taking steps backwards in a way? I don't know. It's a lot to unpack. So I get what you're saying, Barry. Didn't start with us, right? Fire Squad says, hello, Jessica. Hello, Fire Squad. It's been a while. Laura says, I don't have a LinkedIn profile pic. Too many somethings out there. Halfway joking. If I do add a pic, it will be professional with a neutral background. Yes, and there are some folks that will use an animated photo of themselves. So if you're in the creative space, I think it's safe to say you could get away with having an animated photo, like an animation of yourself. I have seen that. And I don't blink an eye to it when it is a creative person, because that's another way for you to say, hey, here's my skill. Hey, I'm a designer. I'm an illustrator. Here's a sample of my work immediately because you can see it in the profile picture. So that's another idea too, if you are in the creative field. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I will stay on here. It is 6 o'clock, a little after. Does anyone else have any questions? But last comment for Michael, no, we are not faking it until we make it with the resume. Now, what I did say in the past video, we talked about using action words, making sure that you're presenting yourself and not underrepresenting yourself in your resume. So if you led a project, and this sometimes women are guilty of doing this, you're just saying, oh, I was a part of this project. Did you lead any aspects of the project yourself? Well, then you would say you led X, Y, and Z, or you led this project, right? You collaborated with your team to implement whatever, right? You can be very creative with verb tense or with verbs to make sure that you're using action words, showing that you did things. You weren't just a part of the team. You weren't just told to do things. You weren't just doing the little things. And sometimes this comes across in conversation with people where they'll just say, oh, I just did this little thing, oh, it was just this. You can really brag about yourself. That's what the resume is for. That's what your interviews are for, right? You can brag about yourself. Kiki says, how do you pass a job's personality test? Oh my gosh, Kiki, one of the things that I loathe, I do not like personality tests. I don't like those type of assessments. I think it's great during times where you've joined a company and we're just trying to get to know our teams better, maybe like a Myers-Briggs or something, so you understand how people are generally, to understand it, and not just the assessment, but the assessment used for conversation on how we work together as team members. What you like, what I like, how I communicate, how this other person communicates. But personalities for jobs, I always steered away from them. And this is a great market to where I don't feel like you have to apply to every single job you see. And Indeed, jobs that are on Indeed solely, you see a lot of those jobs that are asking for personality tests before you get to talk to someone. I just think it's strange. But generally, with those personality tests, we all kind of know what the company's looking for. You can read through the job description to get a sense of what the company is really looking for, what type of people they're looking to hire. And normally, what people do is they will just kind of follow along with that context that they have. People, they're looking for people that are team players and this and that, and then they answer the questions according to what they think the company is looking for of a profile that's like that person. So I don't feel like it's really true, but that's what a lot of people will do when it comes to those personality tests. Gloria says, how many? Oh gosh, just one. That's just, yeah, it's, you do have to protect yourself, but LinkedIn, I have had some occurrences with men on LinkedIn where they're just trying to use it as a dating site. That was actually one of the first videos I did, because I was just like venting. So like, is this just real life? Is this real life? People are just using LinkedIn to get people to date them, and it's just kind of weird. So you do have to stay away. You have to be cautious with it being online, but the majority of people that are joining LinkedIn, they are doing so to extend their network. They're using it for their work or their jobs, or their businesses, right? Laura says Walmart does more tests than the white collar job I have. LOL. I did several hours of assessments when I worked retail. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't like that at all because it doesn't really give you. I get why a company may do something like that because it saves them time, but why not actually have a real assessment? Now, I am for actual assessments. Let's say you're hiring a writer and you have them take a writing test. You have a social media person. You want them to write a social plan for you. You have I don't know, different jobs, and you have them actually do something that will give them a preview of what the job will entail and you a preview of how they work. I like that, but I am not for the if you were in a room and you had seen one of your colleagues do X, Y, and Z, which action would you take? Though I just don't. It's like, can we just talk to people and assess them like they're humans, But I get it. It's more of a time saver thing. All right. So I don't see any more questions in here. I'll give it like 3 minutes. I'll let it hit 6:10 my time and see what comes through. But those are my overall thoughts. Michael, I hope I answered your question. You are starting a LinkedIn profile. Again, just think of it as a networking tool. So if you were in a room and you were networking with people, how would you want to present yourself? So that's what you're going to present on LinkedIn yourself. And some people don't even use LinkedIn, but most professionals will use LinkedIn, and recruiters also use LinkedIn to find people in, you know, your mechanical and plumbing and, engineering type of jobs as well. So if you're out there and you happen to have you happen to be in that industry, you may find that you can get opportunities quicker because a recruiter can actually just use LinkedIn to find you versus trying to figure out all these creative means to find, plumbers and things, which companies with offices, companies with plants, really large companies, they are typically going to look for people and on more of the facilities and mechanical end and stuff. So, yeah. Kiki with the last question, I think. Kiki says, do thank you cards still make sense? Do you have time to your interview's name? Oh, so thank you cards. So, I mean, honestly, this is a tough environment to send actual thank you cards because a lot of folks are still working from home, or it may be difficult to find their location, right? So, physical thank you cards, no, but a thank you email, yes. I always recommend thanking your interviewers. If you don't have your interviewers' email information, you can ask the recruiter. Now, if you have a weird scenario where the recruiter just doesn't get back to you at all, you could always find the hiring manager. A lot of times they will have a LinkedIn profile, and you can always send a thank you note that way. You would need to send them a connection request, and then you would put your thank you note in that request so that way they will see it. And most of the time, if you write someone a message as you're sending them a request on LinkedIn, they will see that and they will accept they will accept you as a connection. So that way you're already connected with them. So even if you don't get the job, you also have them in connection for future opportunities if you were to see another thing pop up. And then of course, email. I mean, I don't see why a recruiter wouldn't provide an email so that you can send a thank you note. Just let them know, like, hey, I would like to send my interviewers a thank you note. I really enjoyed meeting with them, and thank them for their time. Say something personable. I enjoyed you sharing with me about X, Y, and Z. I think I would be a fit for the role because of my experience X, Y, and Z that matches your requirements, or whatever, something like that. Definitely use that thank you note as an opportunity to remind that hiring manager or multiple hiring managers why you'd be a great match and how you connected well with them. And of course, thank them for their time. So, yeah, they definitely work. Some hiring managers will say they don't even want to pursue someone that doesn't send a thank you note. It's something that I have heard before. Other people may not, be as harped on that. They may not focus on it. So, with that, I'm going to end it out. If you have any other questions, you can always leave me a comment on the video and I can get back to you or make a video response to your question. And I hope this is helpful. If you do like these, definitely be sure that you're hitting the like button. I do look at the likes, and videos that don't get as many views or get as many likes, I might not be as likely to touch on the topic or have that type of video again. These have seemed to do, fairly well. I see people coming in here asking questions. So as long as that happens, I'll continue to have these. I'm trying to do them on a weekly basis. Bear with me. But I'll try to keep these going. So yeah, anyway, if you have questions, just feel free to let me know either here or you can always leave me a question in my community tab as well. All right, lovely people. I will talk to you later. I appreciate you all. And shout out to my members, King of Kill and Barry Johnson. Both of them have channels. Barry is more active on his channel and he talks about tech stuff. So if you are a techie or you're interested in that, you're interested in product reviews, you need a new phone, computer, whatever, definitely check him out. And King of Kill, I'm not sure what what type of content you will have, but I think I want to say you've had fitness content in the past that I've seen. Anyway, with that, I'll let you go. Bye.